Welcome back. I'm Ivan, and if you're looking for practical, no-nonsense advice about building wealth, you're in the right place. One thing about money is that it's never distributed evenly. Just think about this for a second. A relatively small percentage of people control an enormous share of the world's wealth, while billions of others own very little by comparison. That gap often makes financial success seem completely out of reach. But here's something that surprises a lot of people. You don't necessarily need tens of millions of dollars to rank among the wealthiest people globally. By worldwide standards, a net worth of around $770,000 is already enough to place you in the top 1. That's a much lower number than most people expect. The real question, though, isn't how you compare with the entire world. It's how you're doing compared to people at your stage of life. Are you ahead of where most people your age are? Are you falling behind, or are you actually closer to financial security than you realize? The good news is that wherever you are today, your financial future is still largely in your hands. Whether you're just graduating college, several years into your career, or simply realizing it's time to take your finances more seriously, it's never too late to start building wealth. Before we look at where your net worth should be at different ages, it's important to understand what net worth actually means. A lot of people assume net worth is based on income, but that's not how it works. Someone earning a high salary can still have a surprisingly low net worth if they're carrying a lot of debt. Net worth is simply everything you own minus everything you owe. Let's say your home is worth $400,000, your vehicles are worth $60,000, and you have another $10,000 in savings and other assets. Altogether, your assets total $470,000. Now subtract your debts. Maybe you still owe $200,000 on your mortgage, have $15,000 remaining on an auto loan, and carry $5,000 in credit card balances. That's $220,000 in total liabilities. Subtract those liabilities from your $470,000 in assets, and your net worth comes to $250,000. As you can see, your income isn't part of the calculation. It's your assets minus your debts that determine your financial position. According to data from the Federal Reserve, the average net worth of American households is surprisingly high. But that number can be misleading because a relatively small number of extremely wealthy households pull the average upward. That's why the median net worth tells a much more realistic story. The median represents the household right in the middle, making it a far better benchmark for the average American than the simple average. Even though these numbers change over time with inflation, market movements, and economic conditions, they still provide a useful way to see how you're progressing compared to your peers. So, let's begin with people in their 20s. If you're in your 20s and your net worth is around zero, that may actually be better than you think. The reason is simple. Many people in their 20s graduate with significant student loan debt, which often leaves them with a negative net worth before they've even started their careers. It's not unusual to spend your early working years earning an entry-level salary while trying to keep up with rent, everyday expenses, and monthly student loan payments. Building wealth under those circumstances isn't easy. That means simply reaching a net worth of zero already puts you ahead of many people your age. The financial decisions you make in your 20s have an outsized impact on your future. Spending a couple $1,000s on a weekend of entertainment might not seem like a big deal today, but investing that same money could make a meaningful difference years down the road. If you can consistently invest even 5% to 10% of your income throughout your 20s, you'll likely put yourself well ahead of the average person before you even reach your 30s. Speaking of your 30s, this is usually the stage where your financial foundation starts becoming much more important. A good goal is to have an emergency fund that covers roughly 6 months of living expenses. Having that financial cushion can protect you from job loss, unexpected medical bills, major home repairs, or other surprises that inevitably come up. Life has a way of throwing expensive curveballs, and having cash set aside can keep one unexpected event from turning into a long-term financial setback. As for net worth, Federal Reserve data shows that households led by someone under the age of 35 have an average net worth of approximately $76,300. Keep in mind that averages don't always reflect reality. A relatively small number of wealthy households can dramatically raise the average, which is why the median tells a much more accurate story. For households led by someone under 25, the median net worth is only about $13,900. That may sound surprisingly low, but it also means reaching or exceeding that number is far more achievable than many people assume. There are good reasons for it. Most people in this age group are still early in their careers, working toward higher salaries while paying off student loans and other debts. Even if they've already purchased a home or a vehicle, those assets are often offset by mortgages, auto loans, and education debt. The encouraging part is that this stage doesn't last forever. As your income grows and your debt balances shrink, your net worth can begin increasing much faster. By the time you reach your 40s, most people have settled into their careers and are earning significantly more than they did a decade earlier. At the same time, life often becomes more expensive. Many people are raising children, paying a mortgage, saving for college, and balancing a long list of financial responsibilities. The good news is that homeownership often starts working in your favor. As you pay down your mortgage and your home's value appreciates over time, your equity grows, helping increase your overall net worth. Ideally, you have also been contributing consistently to retirement accounts like a 401k or IRA, allowing compound growth to start doing more of the heavy lifting. A common guideline says that by your 40s, you should aim to have savings and investments equal to roughly 3 times your annual income. For many households, that's a challenging target. Family expenses, childcare, healthcare, and everyday bills can make saving difficult. But having a benchmark gives you something to work toward, even if your path isn't perfectly linear. As you move into your 50s, your net worth should ideally begin accelerating even more. By this point, you've hopefully spent years building retirement savings, investing in the market, paying down your mortgage, and benefiting from the long-term appreciation of your assets. Life may become a little more financially stable as children grow older or become independent, although that's certainly not true for every household. One mistake many people make during this stage is increasing their lifestyle too quickly. After decades of hard work, it's tempting to reward yourself with expensive cars, luxury vacations, or larger homes. While there's nothing wrong with enjoying your success, it's important not to sacrifice your retirement security in the process. The closer retirement gets, the more valuable every dollar of savings becomes. Federal Reserve data shows that the median net worth for households led by someone between the ages of 45 and 54 is around $124,200, while the average is substantially higher because of wealthier households that skew the numbers upward. Another widely used guideline suggests that by your 50s, you should aim to have accumulated savings and investments worth about 5 times your annual income. That may sound intimidating, but remember that this isn't something you accomplish overnight. It's the result of consistently saving and investing over many years. So what's the biggest lesson from all of these numbers? Your net worth is an incredibly useful way to measure your financial progress, but it doesn't automatically tell you whether you're financially free. Someone with a $5 million net worth could still be forced to work if nearly all of that wealth is tied up in an expensive home, luxury vehicles, and large monthly debt payments. Meanwhile, someone with a net worth of $500,000 could comfortably retire if their investments generate enough income to cover their living expenses. In other words, the size of your net worth matters, but how that wealth is structured matters just as much. If you want to increase your net worth, the first step is simple. Eliminate high-interest debt as quickly as possible. Paying off credit cards, personal loans, and other expensive debt not only saves you money on interest, but also frees up more of your income to build wealth instead of paying lenders. Just as important, becoming debt-free often brings peace of mind that money alone can't buy. From there, focus on consistently investing in assets that have historically appreciated over time, such as diversified stock index funds, ETFs, and real estate. The earlier you start, the more time compound growth has to work in your favor. Finally, remember that building wealth isn't only about investing more. It's also about spending intentionally while finding ways to steadily increase your income. The combination of higher earnings, controlled expenses, and disciplined investing is what allows net worth to grow year after year. There are also plenty of opportunities to save money that most people overlook. Small changes to your everyday spending can add up far more than you might expect over time. At the same time, your paycheck doesn't have to be your only source of income. Building additional income streams through freelancing, a small business, or other side hustles can accelerate your financial progress and help grow your net worth much faster. And once those extra income sources begin generating money consistently, they can be reinvested to create even more wealth. That's one of the biggest advantages of building passive income. If you'd like to learn more about creating passive income streams, be sure to watch the next video where I'll walk you through 6 beginner-friendly ideas that can help you start generating additional income with minimal ongoing effort.